Las Vegas Anon is catching up on some old tax returns, and they're concerned because now they live at a different address than the address that was on their W-2 in some previous years. That makes sense, right? You worked somewhere 3 years ago and you lived at a certain address 3 years ago. The W-2 for that year, let's say 2022, would show your address from 3 years ago, but now you live somewhere else. And so they're wondering, is this gonna be weird? Is it gonna cause issue with the tax return filing? Absolutely not. This is a great question. On your tax returns, you are going to put the address that you currently live at, okay? You're gonna put the address that you currently live at, regardless of where you lived in that actual year that you're filing, okay? However, your filing obligations, let's say for 2022, are based on where you lived in 2022, okay? So for example, right now I live in California, okay? And but let's say back in 2022, let's say I lived in New York, okay? And let's say I'm just getting around to filing my 2022 tax return now. On that 2022 tax return, on the first page where I put my name and address and all that, I'm gonna put my current address, right? Because that's where I want to get mail from the IRS about this return, my current address, not where I used to live in New York and I don't know who lives there anymore, right? In my old house, let's say. However, if I lived in New York all of 2022, and I didn't have any California source income, just because I live in California now and the address on the return is going to say California, doesn't mean I have to file a California return for 2022 when I didn't live there and I had no connection to California, okay? I would file a New York return for 2022. And, if I lived somewhere in New York that had a local return, like, New York City or Yonkers or something like that, then I would file the local return, that's required for where I lived. Even though on the 2022 return I'm filing now, I'm going to use my current address in California, okay? So, but what I'm not going to care about is the address that happened to be on the W-2 from years ago, okay? What matters is where were you required to file it in that year that you are now filing, and you file based on that. But the actual address on the return, you just put your current address where you're living now, where the IRS can reach you. Okay, good question, Las Vegas Anon. If you have multiple years of unfiled tax returns, you want a professional team to handle all this stuff for you, you qualify for a free consultation with us at Choice Tax Relief. So give us a call, 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can go to choicetaxrelief.com, fill out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.